My lovers, welcome to my channel. My name is Made for Love, and today we are looking at what does your person want you to know right now. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get into this. What does your person want you to know right now? I still have space in my class for basic spirit release therapy, and also for that one-off 2-hour class on the 11th of October, 11/1, learning how to clear your plant and animal friends using pendulum and charts. So you can check that out up in the links there. All right, so we have Slimy, okay, and then we have a lot of frogs. Now, this deck is the deck that I'll use to get a significator for a person's energy generally. But generally, it looks like if you look here, they're looking back at the past, and all they're seeing is frogs. So I think they're looking back at the past, and they may be seeing how they may have operated as a frog, because that whole frog to prince or princess or royalty paradigm. Well, they're looking back and looking at those times when they were frogs, right? When they may have been non-committal, when they may have operated in a really low level of consciousness. This is what they're looking back at. They may also be looking back on their past relationships and the frogs that they have encountered, right? And it's the lessons that they're learning from them. Now, I see that they're incredibly triggered right now. Look at all that yellow hair that we're seeing here. But the triggering that's happening there, it's not just triggering for triggering's sake. It looks like there is wisdom that is being extracted from this exercise, because hair always represents wisdom. And this hair is pretty long. It's long enough, right? So they're looking back at the past. They're triggered by their behavior, the partners that they chose, right? Maybe perhaps the way that they treated their partners and the way that they treated you, and they are learning from it, okay? All right, let's get a significator for the energy generally. Ooh. One who needs control. So we're looking at a control freak. And the moment they don't have control, or they perceive that they don't have control, because listen, we never have control, do we? It's an illusion of control. We're never in control, are we? There's so many permutations of things that can happen. It's a lot of things just out of our control. I think the only thing that's within our control is our own emotions, our own feelings, how we respond to things. That's what we have control over. But this is a control freak, and if they're not in control, it looks like everything kind of goes haywire from there. Now, this could be something that they're realizing about themselves, because it is a card, number 20, and a 20 is awakening to something. It's a realization, it's an epiphany. So it could be that they're realizing that they're a control freak, right? It could also be that they may be realizing that they have anger issues, and they might be seeking help for that at this time. But this is someone who is standing in self-awareness. Is what it feels like. I'll pull some cards on that in a moment, but that's what I get with that. And let's see their energy towards you. So they feel like they've lost control of the situation, and that's a message that we've gotten recently as well. So it's consistent. So they perceive they've lost control of their life, situations in their life, and now they're just freaking out. And I think this is someone that they don't only need to control others and be in control of their world, but they may also feel like they need to control the expression of their feelings. So this could be someone who might be incredibly repressed inside until they blow a fuse, right? From all the pressure. All right, we have here escape. Okay, so they could think that you've escaped from their clutches, escaped from the situation, or they could have been using you as an escape from their life and the intensity of their emotions that they repressed. Their energy towards you. We have refine, improve. Okay, so what I get here is someone they feel now. This is someone who feels bound to you, right? And if you notice, there's one body here and two heads, okay, and then there's this higher self here. So this is someone who feels like you are a part of them, like, but more than not just a part of them. You're attached like a limb, right? So they see you as an intrinsic part of themselves, but they also view themselves as the the rough draft. I don't know how else to say it. Like the rough draft that doesn't come out quite right, and then like you're like the refined draft. So they feel like there's a lot of self-improvement that they have to undertake in order to level up and be where you are. Now, they are looking at the past and you are looking towards the future. You are looking to the future with optimism, and they are kind of aghast at what they're seeing there in the past. So this is someone who feels like they need to improve themselves, they need to work on themselves, they need to do more healing in order to be on the same level as you. They don't view themselves as worthy. They don't view themselves as worthy. Okay, so let's clarify these cards. But it reminds me of a Reddit story that I was listening to this morning. So I love listening to. I mean, I like reading them too, but those are my the asshole stories. So this young lady, she writes in to ask, would she be the asshole if she breaks up with her fiance so that he can be happier with her sister? And I'm like, what? What the hell is she talking about? And then my mind said, okay, well, maybe they've been having some sort of affair and she found out, so she's like, she's getting out of it. What? No, 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 no. It's not that. She has this incredibly toxic relationship with her family. Now, she perceives herself as being out of this guy's league, which is like red flag number one, right? If that's how you feel about a person, trust me, there's a lot of self-improvement there's a lot of work that you need to do on yourself, or else there will always be abuse and people pleasing. Anyway, she sees herself as out of her fiance's league. How he's so good looking and he's so wonderful, and she's just mousy. She doesn't even know how she bagged a guy like that, whatever it is. And her family keeps telling her the same thing and keeps comparing her to her sister, who is called Tara. And Tara is the golden child. Pretty, blonde, blue eye, the whole stereotype in this girl's mind of what beauty really is. And clearly in her family's eyes too. And then they start making comments about they wished Tara had met her fiance earlier because they would have made a power couple. And every time they get together with the family, this is a messaging that she's getting. Boom, boom. And they're not even making a secret of it. Like everybody in the family is saying that. Her aunts, her nieces, everybody, her parents are saying that. And then Miss Tara now starts spending a lot of time with the fiance. Every time there's a family gathering, she's basically monopolizing his time. Then they start going to the gym together. Then she's like, oh, she needs him to help out in the house, all kinds of crap, right? She says she knows that her fiance loves her, but she is wondering maybe it would be best if she bows out. And I am like, what the hell is that? And it just felt so sad for her that her self esteem is so low that she would rather jeopardize her happiness in order to make somebody else happy just because she thinks that she's not good enough. And it feels like that is the energy that your person is in. They'd rather jeopardize this connection, even sabotage this connection, just so that you would have access to someone who is better than them because they don't feel worthy. Kind of fucked up. All right. Underneath the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. And the Four of Pentacles is the release. It is a release of the ego, but it can also talk about releasing what does not serve us. Okay? And maybe what does not serve a person might be this control that they have here, or maybe even this low self-esteem. So let's have a look. All right. So, Spirit, one who needs to control. We have the Seven of Pentacles. And we have the Five of Pentacles. All right. So your person's been spending a lot of time alone. And in this time alone, they've been really looking at themselves really hard. Really hard. And they're seeing that there are places where they need to, there are things that they need to work on. And the first thing that they need to work on is this need to control everything and everybody. Right? So I feel like they might be in hermit mode. There might be a lot of self-reflection that might be happening at this time. But this is someone who recognizes that they have to change, right? They have to change. And one of the ways that we also control is by manipulating others, right? Trying to make them do what we want them to do. So there's a slew of habits that your person is looking at that they're realizing it's incredibly toxic, right? So I see them working on themselves here. They're trying to turn over a new leaf, okay? For some of them, they might even be journaling or going to therapy or doing some kind of therapeutic practice, right? That's meant to dislodge them from this dysfunction that they have going on. Now they see themselves as needing to refine and improve to get to your level. Let's see what that's all about. We have, this is the Mystic. Okay, this is the King of Swords in reverse. Okay. And then the Empress in reverse. Oh, this is sad. And see, this is why I gave you that story about this girl and her sibling Tara and the family, the whole narcissistic family members. Because you know what? Your person grew up in the same environment, right? We have the Empress in reverse. So they were never nurtured, right? They were never validated. And they grew up thinking that they were less than, right? I think your person's self-esteem is on the ground. This is something that they're trying to rebuild and work on. But even when it comes to you, they, as I told you, they see themselves as a rough draft. And that's why they keep also questioning your love for them. Because in their mind, how could you possibly want to be with someone like them that's obviously, especially to them, like not on their level or is out of their league. They see you as being out of their league. So even this controlling behavior that they have going on, it is from a place of insecurity. And their whole manipulative tactics and all of that, and then holding back their emotions and maybe even holding back communication, conversation, that kind of thing. It's all about trying to control or trying to manipulate. And again, it comes from a place of feeling not good enough. Because King of Swords in reverse is the overt narcissist to me. And they're especially cutting with their words. So your person is like that girl in the Reddit story, right? They have been cut down, systematically cut down so much that they're questioning their, let me coin a word, or we'll make up a word, their deservedness in terms of good things and love. So maybe that's something, because the question is, what do they want you to know? So I feel like they want you to know where they came from and the background and who they are. Now, it may not matter to some of you guys, right? And I'm not telling you that as an excuse, right? There's no justification for someone treating you badly. But sometimes when we are able to understand where people come from and we can step into that place of empathy and compassion, then we are able to release the anger and resentment. So don't ever do it for them, but do it for yourself so that you are able to move on unburdened by what may have happened, right? And it's a process that we will encounter with so many people in our lives, especially like our parents, right? A lot of us still walking around with a lot of the baggage that they threw on us, but sometimes when when we're able to really see them as human beings, imperfect beings, and a lot of them, they were mere children when they had us, right? And some of them in their teenage years, some of them in their early 20s. They don't even know their bloody self. But society told them, they had to get married, have children, whatever it is, and they tried their best. But sometimes your best isn't enough, right? But sometimes recognizing that they were just kids themselves, sometimes that allows us to move on and release the pain. Recognizing that, yeah, they may have been horrible to you, but quite frankly, they couldn't have done better. They were just kids. Okay. So let's see. Let's ask Spirit, or let's ask a person rather. What do they want you to know? Today, right now, in this moment, what do they want you to know? Besides where they've come from, what they're working on right now, how they see themselves in comparison to you, what do they want you to know? It feels like they want your understanding. And whatever you do with that information is your choice, right? Sometimes you just need to hear this just to get the closure that you require, right? All right, so we have codependent issues, right? So they want you to know why they may have had attachment issues, why they may have had issues with substance abuse, or why they have their particular addictions. They want you to know why. This is someone who wants you to understand the essence of who they are and where they came from. And maybe you already know. What do they want you to know? Might want you to understand why they've picked some shitty partners in the past. All right. We have will be texting you. We have 222. We have 2, which is the high priestess, and then we have 22, which is master number 22, which is mastering or intimate relationships. So I feel like this person is going to be reaching out. For some of you, it might be astrally, because any form of communication is represented by this card. So for some of them, they might be really reaching out astrally, but they want to have contact. This is contact. We'll clarify. What else do they want you to know? We have no, right? Now, if some of you guys have been thinking about, reaching out or anything like that, I'm getting not, it's a not right now from Spirit, right? Access to this person is denied for a reason, or they may not be contacting you for a reason. But I really do feel like they need to process this, what happened to them and why they are the way they are and why they make the choices that they make. I feel this is someone who's been operating on autopilot. Just cruising through. There's no questioning of life existence, why you do the things that you do. I think this is who your person was. So this feels like a big moment of self-discovery for a person. Now, they have daddy issues. Now, when we have father wounds, we have issues with standing in our power. We have issues with our identity and who we are in this world. We have issues with establishing and maintaining healthy boundaries. With people, may have issues with self-control or impulse control. So it feels like this is what they are confronting at this time. It could be as well that everything that they've done thus far might have been for the approval of a father, whether that father is here or is with spirit, or whether that father was absent in their life or present, right? It looks like whatever they've been doing has been a reaction to this father figure. And we have the truth deck. So they also want you to know, what does it say? Usually I put these in for Ace of Pentacles, but it says here, pain causes us to ask important questions about our path ahead and develop plans to improve our life. So right now, it feels like, I don't know if you guys have taken a step back from each other, they've taken a step back from you, or you've taken a step back from them. But whatever it is, I think there's some heartbreak here. And that heartbreak is making them question everything, right? This is what is really shoving them into this hermit mode and this self-examination, because they're seeing themselves objectively and recognizing the areas that they really do need to improve. It's I didn't read the next sentence. It says, heartbreak can be a direct path towards healing if you're allowed to strip away your mask and denial. I get that as well, right? No, I'm not going to share a story, sorry. Yeah. So this is what's happening. The mask has fallen. Maybe it slipped a couple times, but now it's fallen, it's broken. And your person can no longer live in illusion. Live in illusion about the life that they currently have, how they feel about you. It's like everything has been laid bare. And now they're finally dealing with the things that they were repressing all this time. Right? So it feels like a give me some space kind of thing. Right, will help with searching for answers. So they're trying to search for answers and discovering the truth of the matter. What's causing the same patterns of self-sabotage in your life? Will you and an ex reconnect? Should you make up with that friend? So this is them truly questioning themselves and their decision making for the first time. I feel like this is someone just operating on instinct. Right? That reptilian mind, reptilian brain just working overtime. It just reacts. Right? So they're trying to find answers to the questions that are coming up for them at this time. Okay, let's pull some cards on these. So we have, will be texting you. And we have the Hermit. We have the Hermit. Right, so when they come out of this Hermit mode, you're going to be the first person that they talk to, and because they have a lot to say, because they've discovered so much. But right now they're here in the Nine of Swords. Right, they're in their head, they're in their thoughts. This could be the energy of depression, and there's so many things that kind of going round and round in their head. So this is someone who is overwhelmed. We have this no sign. What's this no sign all about? We have the Three of Cups. And we have the Devil in reverse. So for some of them, they might be dealing with addictions, and they need that space. They need that space to deal with that. For others, there's a third party here. And this is something that they are trying to resolve. They're trying to figure out what are they going to do about the situation. They see whatever this is, whether it's an addiction or a person, as a block to their manifestation, or maybe even a master manipulator. So they're trying to deal with that. Now, they have daddy issues. Okay, we have the Queen of Pentacles. And we have the Knight of Wands. Okay, so for some of you guys, your person might have been a player. Okay, just non-committal, back and forth, full armor on, especially around the heart area, right? Not letting you in at all, not letting anybody in, right? Running in and out of people's lives. But now they're trying to find the stability within, right? And they're trying to re-educate themselves in this library here, the spiritual library. Let's see his truth deck, right? We have the Queen of Wands. So they're tapping into their spirituality at this time. And you know, she is a go-getter and she's all about action. So they're also trying to figure out what's the next move to make, right? What's the next move to make on their path? And they want to be aligned with their spiritual journey. So this is someone who might be spending a lot of time in meditation, at this time communing with their ancestors, their guides, because they need a healing energy and they need a direction. Let's get some messages from your person's 3D self. What does their 3D self want you to know? So this is a deeply spiritual time for your person. It's that whole cocoon chrysalis sort of energy that I'm getting here. You are the best thing that happened to me in a long time. So they recognize your value. Your value is not what is in question here. What is in question here is their value, or rather their perceived value, right? That is what they're trying to reclaim. Messages from their 3D self. We have, I'm sorry that this is how things turned out. Right, as I told you, I think this person was operating on autopilot. So whilst you may have read a lot into what they may have done to you or what they may have said to you, I don't even think your person, I know it's kind of insulting, they put that much thought into it. This is just a person that was reacting, like instinctively, like a plant. It's someone who was shut down or almost cut off from their higher self. So that higher reasoning and rationale, it wasn't there. You were dealing with a child. This is someone who's now entering into emotional maturity. Some kind of delayed access to the prefrontal cortex or something. I don't know. It says, please don't doubt my love for you. It is the only thing that I'm sure of. So as they go through this deconstruction, they're holding on to you. And they're holding on to the energy of your connection as they ride these waves, because they're in the middle of the ocean right now. They are rudderless, right? Everything that they have ever thought was true isn't. And then it says, can you forgive me? And just about every reading that we have done has this forgiveness energy, wanting your forgiveness, right? We've seen it, it's consistent, right? So now that they're in full awareness of what they've done and how it impacted and affected you, right? They really want to know if you ever be able to truly, truly forgive. Because sometimes we say we forgive people, but we're there twisting it around, you know. When I look into your eyes, I know I've found the mirror of my own soul. So for a lot of them, they know who you are to them. They may know about, twin flame concept, higher level soulmate concept, but they see you as an integral part of themselves. They see you guys as this, right? Two heads, but it's to them, it's one soul, forever connected. That's how they see you guys. Let's get some messages from their higher self. What does their higher self want you to know at this time? In the extended, we're going to look at what do they want you to know about the karmic connection and their next actions towards you. What is this? One second, guys. I'm picking up the pieces, and maybe that's what they're trying to do here. All right, we have adaptability. So they're trying to keep up with changing circumstances. It looks like there's a lot of fluidity in your person's life. Now that this mask is off, there's a lot of fluidity in terms of their thought process, what's happening in their life. So it feels like internal and external chaos right now. What does their higher self want you to know? All right, we have negotiation, right? And this feels like the Justice card, the balancing of the scales. And not just the balancing of the scales, but your person trying to come to a place of balance within themselves, their masculine and feminine energy, how they navigate themselves in the world, which is what the son or the father represents. And then how do they navigate their inner world or the unknown and their spirituality, which is what the moon or the mother represents. So this is them trying to create a harmony within themselves, right? So that they can, really deal with what is happening on the outside of them. So this is a karmic lesson for your person. What else is happening here? And this is divine order. This is the divine order of things, right? So whatever is happening should be happening. We have influence, and it feels like temptation. So it looks like your person may have allowed themselves to be heavily influenced or swayed by persons outside of your connection. Okay, and maybe this is something that they are addressing with the help of spirit right now. We have 7 here and we have another 7 here. So this is the intervention of spirit in the situation. What else does their higher self want you to know? We have isolation. Yeah, they don't want to talk to nobody. Whether it's you, third party, parents, it doesn't matter. School friends, family friends, they don't want to talk to anybody. They just want to be alone with their thoughts as they power through this. This isolation serves them. And then we have criticism. This person has a very developed self-critic, just like that girl from the Reddit story. And it's basically the external voices that they've heard all their life being internalized. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. So and it this inner critic, it takes a while to exorcise, and maybe we may even go our whole lives always hearing this inner critic, but maybe we'll have the tools to shut it up sooner than later. Maybe the voice isn't so loud, and maybe it doesn't impact us as much. Maybe we use that inner critic for, our own self-improvement, and to, to really bulletproof our self-esteem, right? But this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to deal with this internalized negative projections that they've had all their whole life. So in the extended, I'll look at what do they want you to know about the third party or karmic situation. But if you can't join me in the extended, let me get some advice right now for you from Spirit. So you're doing exactly what you need to be doing, and they are doing exactly what they need to be doing right now, which is minding your own business. Right, so we have here unravel. We have puzzle, conundrum, and a solution. And this is what is happening with your person. It is the unraveling of the ego and the unveiling of their spiritual self, their higher self. Is them reconnecting to their higher self. That's exactly what's happening with them right now. Right? That's the shedding of the ego, that false self, and reconnecting with the true self. We have look ahead. We have visionary, planning, and preparation. So it feels like Spirit right now is giving you some sort of idea that they want you to birth into this earth plane. You just have to open up yourself to receive it here. Okay? So this is a sight beyond sight. Let's see what Spirit wants to say about that. Card number 20, which is the wake-up call, right? A stag watches. He is intent upon what is coming. The swallows who perch on his antlers are his advanced scouts. They fly out, then report back to him. He is a visionary who knows he must be prepared for what is to come. So I feel like right now you may have not been acknowledging it, but there are messages coming to you from behind the veil, right? That they're trying to tell you about what is going to come, but you have to, you have to perk up your ears and make yourself receptive enough to listen to it. Now, he doesn't worry about the future because he knows the value of a good plan. Preparation for him means understanding how the now affects the future. The blue background with the stars is a reminder that even when it feels dark, we must look ahead and search for the light. Don't let the unknown scare you. Begin today by planning what you want your tomorrows to look like. This is a call to action. You are being put in charge of your own life. This is a chance to look ahead. If you do not like what your next week, your next month, or even your next year is shaping up to be, then do something about it. Start making your course corrections now. Remember that every step you take is leading you down a path. It's time to check your internal compass to make sure this is the way that you want to go. And then they're asking, there's some prompts that they have here. Where do you want to be in a year? How can I prepare myself now for my preferred future? How can I ask for help in making plans and preparations? So first you have to be the visionary. You have to see it, right? So you have to see where you want to be in the future. How do you prepare yourself? Well, how do you prepare yourself for manifestation? You have to make sure that your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions are in alignment, right? That's what grounds the manifestation. So right now you have to search yourself. Are my thoughts, my heart, and my actions in alignment with the manifestation that I want to ground? And if it's not, then you have to ask for help. And your spirit guides, your ancestors, source, energy, God, goddess, whatever you identify with, they're there to help you. So are your thoughts, heart and actions in line with your manifestation? And if they aren't, ask for help. How can you course correct? Okay, that's what Spirit wants you to know right now. All right, so in the extended, we're going to look at what does your person want you to know about the third party situation. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this channel. Just by tuning in and watching the video, that's a beautiful energy exchange. If you want to go a step further, and please put a comment down below. You can even put an emoji, a full stop down below. Like the algorithm doesn't care, right? If you want to interact with any of the ads that may have played during this reading, readers, creators get a commission for that. And if you can go a step further, purchase extended readings, personal readings, sign up for classes, that will be also be amazing. All right, guys, thank you so much.